as a political consultant, I realized that in certain areas, it's going to cost me more to move people. It's going to cost me less to move people in more affluent areas. If you're highly educated, if there are a lot of doctors and lawyers in your community, entrepreneurs and things of that nature, it's not going to cost me as much to move you as a voter. But if you're a low propensity voter who has multiple kids, multiple families, multiple jobs, multiple everything just to survive and make ends meet. And I'm not trying to be facetious or funny. I'm trying to be real. When you have that, it's going to cost me more because guess what? I need to convince you to vote because you have a system you're working in. Not a system like the justice system or the crime system or whatever. You're in a system of day to day. I got to matriculate like this because I got to make this, to make the rent, to make the lights, to make the food, to make the kids payroll, day roll, whatever it is, right? Daycare, whatever, right? That's more the issue. So here's where we are. We're looking at voters. 43% men typically vote in the state of Maryland. We're in Maryland here. Likely African American. Let's break it down. What do we get when we look at black men voting in Maryland? And this is at 37%. Now, would you be amazed? How is it? Now, think about this. How is it that black men in 3 different states across the same elections, super voters, how do they typically show up at 37%? Let's look at the age. Let's look at the age of these voters, right? Just like we did in Georgia or North Carolina, one of those states. What do we see? 52% of these voters are over the age of 55. None to 24, because guess what? Remember what I said earlier? Some of them weren't born. Some of them weren't eligible to vote. So what you have here is 685,000 people, 37%. You can't even round up. That's 37 solid, right? That's 37 solid percent. And there it is. So again, look election to election. We got to compare apples to apples, oranges to oranges. Did we have an increase 37% during the Biden year? 1.5%. That's a nice jump for the Biden year. We supported Kamala Harris on the ballot before. That's what it tells me, right? I'm not believing the black men not voting narrative. 36.7, and that was a Trump year. That was that little 0.3 can make a difference. That 0.3 can make a difference. It can make a difference for an electoral college. Don't think it can't, even though this is kind of mapped up. Okay, 2012, the re-election year, black men voted how they gonna vote. 2008, remember, a lot of these voters are older, 37%. So there's a possibility it was 38, 39, 40%. But if a lot of those voters were 55, 60, 65, 85, 90, they're probably with the Lord.